You don't need to change your entire life in order to live healthier and feel great, but instead just knowing some really simple food swaps can help to increase the nutrient density of your food, can help to reduce the sugar and reduce the amount of inflammatory seed oils in your diet. And all of that can really go a long way to helping you achieve your weight loss and wellness goals, or just overall living a healthier lifestyle. So today I'm sharing 17 effortless food swaps that taste great and are really simple. Let's dive into it. My name's Autumn. I'm a certified clinical nutritionist with my master's in nutrition human performance, and today's video is sponsored by Thrive Market. More on them in a bit. Okay, the first is instead of your typical like Smucker's jam, using something called Chia Smash. So you guys probably have seen in the past that I love to make my own chia jam. I've used it in a lot of my different programs before, but you can also buy something pretty similar too. But to compare this, something like a typical Smucker's jam or jelly has 9 grams of added sugar per tablespoon. It also uses high fructose corn syrup, whereas using something like Chia Smash, which is made from fruit, chia seeds, lemon juice, and dates, that only has 4 total grams of sugar and 0 grams of added sugar. You can totally make it yourself too, and I actually prefer to do it this way. I really think this is a pretty simple recipe to do. I think I have videos sharing it before. I'll have it linked up here if I do, but either way, you could also buy the Chia Smash option as a much better alternative. Okay, next up, instead of using something like vegetable oils, which are really inflammatory, are really easily oxidized at higher temperatures, and have just been linked to a lot of poor health outcomes, you can use Fourth and Heart ghee instead. This is my all-time favorite ghee company. They're very, very low lactose, so if you're lactose intolerant, it's a great option. It's also made from grass-fed dairy, and grass-fed dairy in general is usually high in butyric acid, which is really great for reducing gut inflammation. But unlike butter, ghee has a much higher smoke point, so you can use it in more of a variety of different cooking options. Okay, the third, instead of really sugary granola, you can use dang coconut chips instead. I love dang coconut chips. These are by far the best coconut chips that I have ever had. They're unsweetened, like lightly salted ones. So good. They add a little bit of crunch. It also adds 6 grams of fiber per serving, and it's not going to have any added sugar. It just adds that nice crunch to your smoothies or your smoothie bowls or just some type of topping where you want a little bit of that crunch. So good. Okay, the fourth, if you're trying to get rid of or really greatly reduce your alcohol intake, especially if you're trying to improve your sleep quality, you can check out Shirley non-alcoholic wines. So Shirley takes the alcohol out of wine, so you still get that experience of wine, but just like without the alcohol. In fact, one of the AN team members, Katie, is one who first introduced me to Shirley. She loves it. She thinks it's a great alternative when she doesn't feel like having regular wine. Okay, number 5, if you're looking for like a chip alternative, something that's different than just potato chips, a much better option is going to be the Bare apple chips. So Bare apple chips are literally just slices of apple that have been dehydrated with like a little bit of cinnamon. There's no seed oils. It's literally just like apple, a much more nutrient dense option than just regular potato chips. Which, speaking of all of these amazing healthier food swaps, I want to give a huge thank you to today's sponsor, Thrive Market. Thrive Market is an awesome online membership-based grocery store, and they're on a mission to make healthy living as easy and accessible and affordable as possible. Plus, they're delivered directly to your door, which for myself as a new mom just makes my life so much easier. You can also save on every order on high quality brands like Fourth and Heart or like the Bare apple chips on Thrive's website or on its app. And if you happen to find the price lower someplace else, Thrive Market will match the price, always guaranteeing the lowest price. Plus, orders over $49 have free shipping. Especially if you are a new mom, or if you have a family, or if you just want to try and make healthier swaps for your family or for yourself, it can be really overwhelming. But Thrive Market makes it really easy because they have the highest quality standards in the industry. You can shop Thrive Market's 100% non-GMO catalog with over 1,000 restricted ingredients from all of the products available on their site. And it makes it easy to swap out junk food items for certified organic and non-toxic alternatives with Thrive Market's in-app barcode scanner. And all of this while saving money in the process. Almost every single item I'm mentioning today can be found on Thrive Market to make healthy swaps really easy and delicious. And right now you can join Thrive Market today to get 30% off your first order plus a free gift valued up to $60. So make sure you head over to thrivemarket.com/autumnbates for 30% off your first order. I'll also have it linked down in the description below so you don't miss out. Okay, speaking of like chip alternatives, so this is more of like if you want something a little bit sweet on top of your smoothie bowl, we have rind coconut crisps. I hate saying that word. It's so hard for me. Each serving has 7 grams of fiber, which is great because fiber helps to boost satiety, makes you feel full and satisfied. It also helps to feed your good gut bacteria. And it does have a little bit of chocolate, but it's very limited in the sugar amount. Okay, number 7 brings me back to like my elementary school days when it would be Ice Cream Friday. I don't know if other people had this, but in my town we had where like every Friday the school would open up and sell like ice cream and popsicles. My favorite was like that big stick popsicle, which, oh my gosh, when you actually look at the ingredients of those, so so bad. Popsicles usually have like less than 2% total fruit juice, and it's mostly made from high fructose corn syrup. It is just so bad. So instead, I found this really great alternative called DB's Freezy Pops. It's made entirely out of organic fruit juices, and each one of their packs has only 5 grams of total sugar. Okay, number 8, instead of protein bars, because you guys know if you're a longtime viewer that I'm not a fan of protein bars, they just typically aren't very high in quality protein. They are also usually just like cleverly marketed candy bars for how much sugar is in it. There's just so many processed ingredients. There's often a lot of seed oils. It's just not real food. So instead, I love Epic Sweet and Spicy Sriracha Bites. They have a bunch of different types, but the sweet and spicy Sriracha Bite is my favorite. It's made just from ingredients like beef and dried cranberries, and then salt and spices. This is perfect if you're traveling or if you're just on the go and you need a little quick bite of some type of protein. Okay guys, one swap I forgot to mention is the ranch swap. So typical ranch uses like canola oil and soybean oil. So highly inflammatory vegetable oils. Especially during this pregnancy, I had like a weird ranch craving, which was just like kind of unusual for me. But I found the Primal Kitchen's ranch is such a better alternative. It mostly relies on avocado oil and not those inflammatory seed oils. Okay, number 10 is for all my coffee lovers out there. And instead of just like the typical coffee creamers that have a lot of sugar, like Coffee Mate has about 5 grams of sugar per tablespoon. And I know most people are using well more than 1 tablespoon. They also are loaded with sugar and soybean oil. Instead of using that, you can use Nut Pods. I like Nut Pods French vanilla flavor. It's dairy free. It's also 0 sugar per serving. And it's mostly just made out of coconuts and almonds. Okay, number 11 is a soda alternative, especially if you're really struggling to get rid of soda or reduce your soda intake. This alternative is a great transition item, and it's called Poppy. They have a bunch of different flavors, but they also have like a classic cola flavor. It's about 1/6 of the sugar of a regular soda. But on top of that, it also has other health promoting ingredients like prebiotics too. Okay, number 12, instead of the typical like Heinz ketchup that we all know has so much sugar, especially like from high fructose corn syrup, I love using the Primal Kitchen's ketchup instead. This is the only ketchup that we use at our house. It's 0 added sugar, and it's made from ingredients like tomatoes, balsamic, and apple cider vinegar. It's definitely not sweet like traditional ketchup, but it is such a better alternative. Okay, number 13 has to do with those frozen pre-made meals. I recently talked about ultra processed frozen pre-made meals. Most of them are just loaded with ultra processed ingredients. They're very, very low in protein. They're just not a good meal option. Not to mention they have other questionable ingredients, a lot of seed oils, etc. But I found this other alternative called Kevin's Naturals frozen meals. And I was actually very impressed by the fact that they have significant amounts of protein in a lot of their different meals. It looks like usually each of their meals splits up into 3 servings of about 20 grams of protein per serving. So if you actually just split it up into 2 servings instead, you can make that 30 grams of protein per serving, which to be quite honest, that's usually pretty difficult to find for most frozen food items. Okay, number 14 is another like chip or potato chip alternative, and this one's called Vienna chickpea snacks. Obviously, regular potato chips are very low in protein. They also are low in fiber. That combination just makes it really easy to eat a lot, like a whole bag of potato chips. But the Vienna brand takes chickpeas and bakes them, so it is nice and crunchy and a good chip alternative, or like a crouton alternative if you want it on a salad. But it has 6 grams of fiber and 6 grams of plant-based protein per serving, which plant-based protein is not going to be as high quality as an animal-based, but protein from chickpeas is one of the better plant-based proteins. Okay, number 15 is for when you're looking for like a healthier dessert item. So maybe you're reaching for like chocolate covered almonds. Sounds like that should be healthier. But typical chocolate covered almonds has about 10 grams of sugar per serving, and most of that's coming from like corn syrup. Instead, I like the brand called Skinny Dipped Almonds. It gets by with only 2 grams of added sugar because they thinly coat the almonds with just a little bit of that like dusted chocolate approach. So it is a great occasional dessert option for a healthier treat. I still would not consider this a daily item though, because it is very easy to eat foods like this beyond your body's needs. Okay, number 16 is a beer alternative. So typical beer is going to have some sugar. It's usually about 16 grams of carbohydrates. It also usually has gluten. And of course it has alcohol, which can lead to issues like insulin resistance or fatty liver disease if you're drinking it too often. So instead I found another brand called Hop Water. So Hop Water has 0 grams of sugar. It has 0 grams of carbs, but in addition to that, it adds some different adaptogens in there. Specifically, it uses L-theanine and ashwagandha. Both of those have been studied to help balance out stress levels. I actually loved using L-theanine when my anxiety was really, really high. And my husband is a big fan of ashwagandha for how it works for his body. Okay, number 17, we have a typical hot chocolate alternative. So usual hot chocolate like the Swiss Miss has anywhere between 23 to 26 grams of added sugar. Now I have a lot of hot chocolate alternatives, but one that I used to get a lot that I absolutely loved is the Four Sigmatic Calm Cocoa. It's lower in sugar, so it only has 2 grams of sugar, but it also has some additional benefits of reishi, which can help promote higher quality sleep. Again, this is something that I used to take back like 6 or 7 years ago when my anxiety was so much higher and I would just absolutely crash after taking one of these. Now, most of the things I mentioned in today's video can actually be found on Thrive Market and delivered directly to your door. So if you want to get that 30% discount code plus a free gift valued up to $60, make sure you head over to thrivemarket.com/autumnbates. Also have the link down description below so you don't miss out on that discount. Now, I have another almost like famous hot chocolate recipe at this point that is 0 grams of added sugar. It also has 18 grams of complete protein. I love having this during like the fall and winter months when it's cold out. If you want that recipe, I'll have it linked right up here. Also, if you're new to my channel and you love this science-backed and delicious information, make sure you subscribe right here. Come out new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video.